There's no secret formula to starting a business, but there are 7 steps that virtually every single person should take before he or she can call himself a business owner. I'm going to share with you those 7 steps, and that, my friends, is up next. Welcome to Over 50 TV. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn how to start, build, and manage a business when you're over 50, then start now by subscribing to our channel. And don't forget to click on that little bell so that you don't miss anything. Hi, welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. I am your host. And today we're talking about 7 steps that you should take to start a business. And I've started literally a dozen businesses in my career. I've also worked with hundreds of business owners. And each one of us have had to take these same 7 steps to start our businesses. And what I want to do today is share with you the steps that we've all taken to build successful businesses. And listen, whether it's a small business, whether it's a mature business, every person who started one of those businesses had to take these 7 steps. And we're going to start with step number 1, which is define your business. And the easy way to look at defining your business, I've broken that down into 5 quick steps. Number 1 is, who's your target audience? In other words, who are you trying to serve? Who are the people that you want to sell to? Who are the people that you want to service? Number 2 is, what is your product? Know what your product is exactly. If you have a snow plowing business, well, that's pretty easy to know. I'm going to snow plow driveways, or I'm going to cut grass in the summer. But know what your product is. Really make sure that you understand what you're offering. What you don't want to do is have somebody call you up and say you are doing snow plowing. And they say, hey, can you also come and repair my gutter? Well, you know, that's not a service you offer. You could be kind of inclined to do that because, look, you need the money. But that's not your service. That's not your product. That's not what your expertise is in. Know what your product is and really don't deviate. Now, I'll change that up a little bit by saying that if you get a lot of requests for something and you're doing a particular service or you're selling a particular product and somebody wants a different color product or maybe a more high-end product or a different service, well, then you may want to add that later on to your product list or your service list. The other thing that I always do, though, when you're defining your product is, what time do you want to start this product? And I don't mean what time of day are you opening up the doors. I mean, when do you start your business? Are you starting it in the spring? Are you starting it in the fall? Are you starting it in the winter? You're going to want to know that because there are times that are peak times. You almost want to get ready before the peak time when you're going to start a business. So define that. Make sure you know when you're going to start a business. Now, I have started a number of publications. And one thing that I knew when I was selling advertising is that the advertisers usually make their budgets later in the year, sometimes around September, maybe even as late as early October. So whenever I started a publication, whenever I launched a new publication, I made sure to launch that publication in June or July so that I had it ready, so that I had product I could show. I could show publications that we'd had published or printed, so I could show the advertisers, so I had some track record. So I would know when I'm going to start my business. It's extremely important to know when you're going to open your doors, when you're going to launch that business. Now, where will you sell your product? Where are you going to sell it in a particular geographic area? Are you going to sell it in a storefront? Or are you going to sell it online? But where are you going to sell your product? A little hint here: if you have a product that I'm going to go back to snow plowing. Say you do snow plowing. You know you want to target a geographic area, a smaller area. That's what I would recommend. And one of the reasons for doing that is because if you're going to market, you want to really zero in on a particular area. You don't have or probably don't want to spend a lot of money to target the entire city that you live in, when really you can only service a small portion of that city. So know where you're going to sell your product, know where you're going to open your store, know if it's going to be online and who you're targeting, but where will you sell your product? Now, the 5th part of defining your business is, why are you going into business? Are you going into business because you love this? It's something that you're passionate about? Are you going into this business because you know people really need your service and are clamoring for this particular service or product? But know why you are going into business. You don't want to go into it for the wrong reasons. You don't want to go into a business thinking I'm going into it because I want to make a lot of money and I'm going to be rich, because that's not a reason to go into business. Go into business for the right reasons. Go into the business because you have a passion for your product or service. Go into a business because you know that it's a needed service that you can offer great value. Go in for the right reasons. Now that you've defined your business, it's time to name your business. And I've always thought of this as the fun part. But just because I think of it as the fun part doesn't mean I don't take naming the business seriously. I believe naming the business is extremely important when it comes to brand building. And I want to give you an example. When I name a business, I've always incorporated the service in the name of the business. And this is a clear example right here with Over 50 TV. I call it Over 50 TV because I want people to know that this is a TV program or a video program for people over 50. Now, not everybody does that, and I understand that. A good example would be Amazon. In the beginning, when Amazon first started, you would never have known that it was a bookseller. You heard the name Amazon, you thought of a river in Africa, but you never thought of it as a bookseller. For me, when you incorporate the name of your service or your product in the name of your business, you save yourself time and money in the short run and in the long run when it comes to brand building. You get immediate name recognition. So I incorporate the name of my business with the service or product that I'm offering. Next up is make your business legal. And when I say make your business legal, I mean determine the structure that you want to adopt for your business. And what kind of structure? You can go with a subchapter S and a C Corp, a nonprofit status, a sole proprietor partnership. There's probably a few other ones I've forgotten. But you can talk to an attorney or maybe even talk to your accountant to determine the structure that's best and the structure that's right for your business. Next up is open a business checking account. And that may seem a little trivial, open a business checking account, but it's very important. It's important for two reasons. Number one is you do want to keep your money separate, your business income separate from your personal income. Same thing with the expenses. By opening a business checking account, you are separating your business from your personal. But the other benefit of opening a checking account, and I think this is a very important benefit, is when you're presenting your business to a customer and they're writing you out a check or they're charging the product or the service that they're buying or purchasing from you, you want them to know that you are an actual business. The next step is invest in branding. And when I say invest in branding, I mean invest in a logo, invest in a look, invest in a way that you're presenting yourself and your business. It's nice to have letterhead, or it's nice to have a logo on your website. It's nice to have the same color scheme. You are investing in your branding. You want people to instantly recognize your business, and the best way to do that is to invest in branding so that you have a look. Many times you're driving down the street and you'll see a business and maybe you see the golden arches, and as soon as you see those arches, you recognize that as a McDonald's restaurant. Or maybe what you're doing is you go past an Apple store and you see that little Apple icon and you know that's an Apple store. That's branding. People just look at those logos, look at the color scheme, and they instantly recognize that company name. You want to have that recognition as well. You want to have your brand top of mind. You want people to look at your logo, look at your color scheme, and know that it's your business. The steps I'm giving you are all important, and this step is called setting up systems, and it is as important as any of the other steps. And I'm going to tell you what I mean when I say setting up systems. Setting up systems means that you're going to think through the entire business, the entire process, whether it's manufacturing, sales, after sales, post sales, whatever that is, you're going to consider. And you can write it down on a piece of paper, which is how I like to do it. I take a legal pad or I take a notebook and I write down, okay, this is my product. How do I get this product? How do I sell this product? How does the customer find this product? How do I, after I sell the product, how do I process the sale? How do I replenish the warehouse? Every step of the way, you want to set up a system. And whether there's accounting programs that you need or whether there's apps, come up with the system step by step by step. Now, I know what some of you out there are thinking. You're probably thinking, well, he hasn't talked about a business plan. He's talked about all these other things that he says are important, but he hasn't talked about a business plan. Well, I'm going to talk about a business plan, and I believe that you should have one. I believe a business plan should be short. I say 2 or 3 pages at the most. I think a business plan should be easy to read. I think a business plan should be easy to follow. A business plan should incorporate your goals, and a business plan should also incorporate your budget. But yes, you should have a business plan. And again, I'll stress to you, I like to keep a business plan short. One thing that I do know is that when you're in business and you've got a product or you've got a service, that over time you're going to make adjustments. That over time the product or service that you started out with isn't going to be, or likely isn't going to be, the same product or service that you began with, because it will evolve and it will change. Your business plan is going to evolve and it'll change. You'll probably add more pieces or pages to your business plan if you follow it, which I believe you should. But your business plan, or creating a business plan, is very important to a business. I put it as the last thing in this video series today, but it doesn't mean it shouldn't be first. But a business plan is your roadmap, and a business plan will have your goals on it. And if anything that's to me is extremely important, is establishing your goals. Now, I've just given you 7 steps to starting a business, and I consider these steps fairly easy. I think the saying goes, everything is hard before it's easy. You know, for me, I've started a dozen businesses, and I've worked with hundreds of business owners and managers over the years, and I've seen what the steps are that they've taken to build their businesses, and I'm sharing them with you today. And in future episodes of Over 50 TV, I'll be happy to share more of my experiences with you on how to start a business. So please, if you're new to this channel and you want to learn how to start, build, and manage a business when you're over 50, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that little bell so that you don't miss anything. And as always, I hope you have a great day, everybody. I look forward to meeting you and talking to you again soon.